What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's only been 3 days since the partial lockdown. You've been cooking, you've been eating, you've been watching Netflix, Itaewon Plus, Crash Landing on You, and so on. I know we also get tired of that, and you might want to take a break and feed yourself with some property knowledge. And my friends, I am here for you. So, like you can see in the title, today I will be sharing with you guys about the differences between a commercial title property and also a residential title property. So yeah, watch this video till the end. Annyeonghaseyo. So before we start, let me put on my glasses. Now I can see clearer and better. So why it is very important for you to know your title of property? Because your title of property, the title of the property that you're going to purchase, is going to affect your property investment plan. For example, because different people have different purposes, plans in life. You are not different. Some people has higher budget, lower budget, or we are all different. We are all unique, just like everybody else. So yeah, let me give you an example. For example, Mr. A, he is a doctor and he wants to gain passive income every month. So his plan is he wants to buy a property that could give him passive income every month. So it is for investment purpose. And Mr. B, he is a tauke. He is a tauke and he's so rich, so he can wait. He don't mind paying high installment every month. He just want to wait for his property to gain a higher capital gain in the long run. And there is Mr. C. He has a family. He has been renting a property, so he feels like it is time for him to purchase a house for his own stay. So A, B, C has different purposes. So this is where your type of property is going to affect what you want with your property investment. Also, like that. Okay, got it. So let's get into the differences. So before we get into deeper on the differences between these two and how it can affect your property investment plan, let me just brief you on the description, on the appearance of how these properties look like. For residential property, most of you would know this because it is something that we're currently living in. So it includes terrace house, double-story terrace house, bungalows, semi-D, linked bungalows. Linked bungalows meaning from the front it looked like a bungalow, but at the back it is actually linked to the neighbor's house. So it is something like semi-D. For example, for example, semi-D look like this. So the entrance is from the front, and for a linked bungalow it is this way. So from here it looks like a bungalow, but it is actually linked to the house at the back. Yep. So, and it also includes apartments and condominiums. Okay. Whenever you see a high-rise buildings, they are normally condominiums. But for the case in KK, in fact in Malaysia, there are a lot of high-rise buildings that are not actually a residential title property. Why is that? Because they're a commercial title property. So meaning when they are a commercial title property, you can do Airbnb in it. So let's get into commercial now. So for back in I think back in the 90s, back in the 80s, it is very easier for us to differ a commercial property from a residential property. Why? Because those days, whenever you see a restaurant, a warehouse, or a factory, you would know that that property, that building is a commercial title property. But right now, in 2020, it is very much different, because those high-rise building also might be a commercial title property. That is why they're called suites, Soho, small office, virtual office, small office, home office, and so on. So yep, those days they are commercial property that is livable, but they're not a Soho or Soho. So can you guess it? 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. So it is actually shop houses. Older generation would know this, but some youngsters wouldn't know this. So what is meant by shop houses is, they still exist. A two-story building. Ground floor is the shop, and the first floor is the shop house. Normally the shop owners use it as their staff's quarters, or even for their own stay. So yeah, that is basically the how they look like on the outside. Okay. Okay, so I will be comparing them aspect by aspect. So let us start with Housing Development Act, HDA. So when you buy a residential property, you are protected by the HDA. Whereas when you buy a commercial title property, you are not protected by them. You're only protected by God. Moving on to the next one. When you buy a residential property, people like to do Airbnb, kan? Homestay and stuff like that. So basically, when you buy a residential property, for example, Waikiki condo, Airbnb is not allowed there. So you have to keep this in mind. If you are planning to buy a property and you want to do Airbnb for investment, so you should buy a commercial title property. A commercial title property is entitled to do an Airbnb. You can do Airbnb. You can rent it out conventionally to spa, dental clinic, to whichever businesses you want. So that is the difference. Third one, utility rate. For a commercial title property, normally have a slightly lower rate compared to a commercial title property. So, yeah. This is some of the, this monthly thing that you have to pay is something that you should look into when you buy a house. The management fee, the sinking fund, the electricity bill, the water bills. These are the stuff that you have to look into too, right? Fourth, margin of financing. Bank would give you 90% for residential property. Normally it's 90%, or it's 90 plus 5% for the legal fee and stuffs, and 100% maximum. Some banks do give 100% maximum depending on their scheme and their mood. Banks too have mood swings. Okay, so yeah, they can give 100%. For example, BSN, Bank Simpanan Nasional, is that what it stands for? Yeah. And also BNM, Bank Negara Malaysia. All banks, like Maybank, they do have the BNM scheme, even CIMB. Yeah. So you have to check into these schemes before you purchase a property. Whereas for commercial title property, bank would normally give you around 85% maximum, or even lower. So it depends on your background. Okay. Yeah. And fifth, the loan tenure. For residential property, normally you are given up to 30 to even 35 years, depending on your age. For a commercial title property, it's normally around 25 years or even lower. Okay? 6. So the rental yield for a residential property is normally lower compared to a commercial title property. Why is that? because of the title. Excuse me. So yeah, so for residential property, normally you know why it's normally lower? Because you can normally, most of the time, you can only rent out your, for example, your condominium at leader for season. You can only rent it out to a family or to a single doctor. So you don't expect them to pay very high for monthly rental, right? Whereas for a commercial title property, for example, if you purchase a property at our suites and you do an Airbnb business, so from there you can actually gain more income on the short-term rental every month, and that is where you can gain more rental yields every month. Got it? So that is the different concept, okay? So yeah, that is the differences between residential and also a commercial title property. And also one thing that you should know, in case you don't know, some properties, some developments are not purely residential or purely commercial. Some of them are mixed, okay? Mixed. It's called mixed development. So for example, one of the examples that you can see right now is Imago. You know, Imago is down here, and there is like, a high-rise building up above it. It is called the Loft, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of tourists renting there for Airbnb. So you might think it's a commercial title property, but it is not. It is not. So for example, when you buy the Loft versus Riverson Soho, in the long run, for example, if the government restricted residential from doing Airbnb, so that is where you're going to lose. The Loft owners are going to lose to Riverson Soho owners, because Riverson can do Airbnb in the long run for sure, but the Loft still has the doubts. So this is why it is very important for you to really know what's the title of the property you're buying. And one of the properties that are coming, which are also similar like this, but not so similar, because different towers has different title. So for example, Tower A is commercial, Tower B and C is residential. These type of properties do exist. So which property is this? It's actually K Avenue. It's the one near Cyber City. Yeah. So when you buy a property, then make sure you check with your agent. You check with your real estate negotiator. Which one is residential, which one is commercial. So don't end up buying a commercial when you want to buy a residential. Okay. Yep. So now that you've known the differences between residential and also commercial and also mixed development, let me just share with you what are some of the properties that are currently in progress in KK. Let us start with residential. Okay, so for residential, for landed property, we have, right now we have Di Banyan. Di Banyan, it is located at Sutra Harbor. So that is around 4 million plus. Yeah, that is also, that is a semi-D. Yeah. So we have Di Banyan, Taman Putra Pogun. Putra Pogun is a link bungalow. Vision Garden is a terrace house and also semi-D. Yep, it's landed. It's so nice. And then we also have Taman Minintot. It's near Country Shangri-La. Yeah. So Taman Minintot is a 3-story house. It's so nice. It's a terrace house. And for residential, we also have a walk-up apartment, which is Seri Sutra at Lokawi. We have condominium Alam Pesona, and also Kingfisher Putatan. They're quite nearby actually. And also we have Kingfisher Inanam. And for those who are looking for around Bundusan area, we have Forest Hill. Yep, it has a foresty concept. So for those who love nature, we surely live it there. And also we have Jesselton Twin Tower. Yep, not KLCC but Jesselton Twin Tower, JTT. not JDT. Okay, for commercial, let us start with the high-rise first. Okay, for commercial, we have Damai Suites. This one is located at the back of the shop lots in Damai. It's at the Burger King side. And we also have Vetro 11. This one is so nice because it's located just few minutes from Queen Elizabeth Hospital. So when you buy this property, you can do Airbnb, of course, but other than that, you can also rent it out for doctors, teachers, even work staffs from Petronas. So yeah, you have more options. Third one, we have Aru Suites. Yep, Aru Suites is located in Tanjung Aru. It's a very nice low density property. Next one, we have Bay Suites, and also Jesselton Key. And then we have shop lots. For shop lots, we have TSY, Tuaran shop lot. It's a 2-story shop lot. Then we have Membakut Plaza, which is in Membakut, and also we have Sipitang Commercial Center. That's it for commercial titled properties, which are under construction in Sabah. So it's getting dark out there, and we're also at the end of my video. Thanks for spending time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or any feedback, you can always drop it down below in the comments. And if you have any topics that you want me to cover in the next video, feel free to comment it also down below, so I would consider to cover it in the next video. And if you are interested to know more about the property that I mentioned before, you can always contact me at 012-885-0445. Yep, that is all for today. I hope you're doing good things. Be a good person, good citizen by staying at home while you can. And for those who are working, all the best. Please take care. And those who are going outside to meet these people who are working outside, please keep your distance. Be responsible. If you're sick, don't meet them. Go straight to the hospital. Don't risk these bankers, these people who are working outside because of your stupidity. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for watching. Stay healthy, drink your water, stay hydrated, stay at home. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time, and don't watch too much Korea.